What's up, guys? Danny, one of the horror dads here, and I want to talk really quick about the new trailer for James Wan's latest horror film, Malignant. James Wan, one of the most successful horror filmmakers of a generation. Pete and I spent an entire month going through his Conjuring universe. We ranked all the films in that franchise, and spoiler alert for that video, but numbers 1 and 2 were the two that James Wan directed, Conjuring 1 and Conjuring 2. He also, of course, started the Saw franchise, which is still going, with Spiral, which came out earlier this year, and Insidious. He directed the first 2 Insidious films. All 4 of those are great. What other filmmaker in the horror genre has not 1, not 2, but 3 great franchises to his name? And now he's coming back to the genre with this film Malignant, coming out September 10th to theaters and HBOMax, which is really is so much fun when that happens, because people like me, I know I'm going to run to the theater to see this. I'm a movie theater guy, but COVID is still out there. People, still maybe not want to go to the theaters. The ability to stay home and watch it on HBO Max is really cool. But this movie kind of feels, from the trailer, like a return to form for the old school James Wan. There's a lot of, dark, in the shadows stuff. This movie kind of feels like a combination slasher, supernatural, horror film. And the cast and the crew of this movie is very tied into his Conjuring universe. The lead actress in this movie is Annabelle Wallis, who was the lead in Annabelle. His director of photography in this film is Michael Burgess, who was the DP on the last 3 Conjuring universe movies. He has Ingrid Bisu gets a co-story credit for this movie. She's also in the movie in a co-starring role, and she was also in The Nun and The Conjuring Part 3, which came out earlier this year. So there's a lot of Conjuring-verse vibes to this, but this movie looks genuinely scary. Really like what is going on in this trailer. So in the trailer, you see Annabelle Wallis's character, Maddie, I believe her name is. She gets pulled into this almost Inception style, what she thinks is a dream, but it's watching somebody get murdered. And she hears about it on the news, and it turns out, what I'm gathering, is that the supernatural entity that was her imaginary friend, Gabriel, when she was a kid, is now coming back, and these murders that she's seeing are, I'm assuming, part of a bigger story. The title of the film, Malignant, malignancy being, a disease that is, poisonous, and it spreads and it corrupts the healthy parts of the body around it. So I feel like it's all going to be drawing back to her. So it does kind of feel like a lot of his earlier work coming back. James Wan went from a low budget hit like Saw to being given Aquaman and Furious 7, and he's conquering these other genres. But so for him to come back to kind of low budget, gritty horror, like supernatural, scary horror, really is a shot in the arm for the horror genre, and I'm really looking forward to that. And September 10th, we're all going to get a chance to see it in theaters and on HBO Max. So what did you think of the Malignant trailer? Let us know in the comments below. I know Pete and I are going to be talking about that come this September, and you can look for more stuff coming up soon on the Horror Dads.